Grand evening, back with another video. How y'all doing? Grand evening. Man, oh man. So Bill Gates' testimony to Congress. And you know what? He is such a big fat liar. I thought he was going to confess. Let's see what's going on.
Glad to be here voluntarily to testify to help with the committee's work. I'll start with an opening statement in the hearing room. I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims.
That's what he said. Let's see.
Today, Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates faced nearly 6 hours of questioning about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims.
Gates, whose name and photos appear hundreds of times in the Epstein files, said he never victimized anyone. But he claimed after he cut ties with the convicted sex offender, Epstein discovered Gates had extramarital affairs and, quote, was working to use information about my infidelities to pressure me to re-engage with him.
It does appear that his extramarital affairs were not associated with Jeffrey Epstein, but he also is claiming in there that Epstein was aware of them and therefore may have exploited them as a form of blackmail against Mr. Gates.
Gates' association with Epstein was a factor in his divorce from his wife Melinda French Gates in 2021. Epstein's former executive assistant Leslie Groff testified Tuesday that she scheduled Epstein's massages but was unaware of his crimes.
That's hard to believe that she never suspected anything, but that's what she testified.
Gates' interview comes as the New York Times reports that the White House was freaked out about the release of the Epstein files and sought ways to contain any potential fallout. A White House spokesperson says the president has been, quote, totally exonerated. Matt?
Okay.
Bill Gates just told members of Congress he was blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein. My source told me this morning that Gates testified that Epstein knew.
You think that Melinda Gates would have gave a crap? They was just like betting on everybody, you know. 99 bottles of beer in the wall. That's how they had to color my lemon. You take one down, you pass it around. Are you crazy? Baby, Bill Gates is full of crap. If you were so blackmailed, which as you was, but what could have been so much more bad other than the lying fact that you saying we had other affairs? Come on now. Come on now.
Knew about Gates's
What he had on you. It's the real question. What did he have on you?
extramarital affairs and that he tried to use them against him to blackmail him. Now, Gates has denied any wrongdoing and denied abusing young girls and women like we have obviously seen from Epstein, but he did acknowledge, according to the top Democrat on the committee, that he knew people who were abused, people who worked for him were abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Democrats also told us that Gates gave some names of people in Epstein's orbit, people who were involved with the Gates Foundation that they should look into. Again, Gates testified that he did not victimize anyone and that he never went to Epstein's home in Florida, his ranch, or his island. Now, he became friends with Jeffrey Epstein years after he pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution of a minor. He has said that this was a huge mistake. We know that it caused friction in his marriage with Melinda Gates. One member of Congress said he looked worn down and stressed as he testified. Another one said that he was somewhat combative. This interview happened behind closed doors. It was not recorded, and it will be up to Republicans when and how much of they release of this transcript.
So Bill Gates just dropped a bombshell during congressional testimony. According to Gates, Epstein tried to use information about Gates' past affairs to pressure him. Gates called his interaction with Epstein a grave error in judgment and said he deeply regrets ever associating with him. Think about what that means. One of the richest, most powerful people in the world is now publicly describing Epstein as someone who allegedly gathered information and attempted to use it as leverage. And that's exactly why so many questions about Epstein have never gone away. Because the story was never just about one man. It was about influence, access, and power. And whether Epstein used relationships, secrets, and personal information to gain leverage over powerful people. Now, Gates was also cleared about something else. He testified that he never witnessed any criminal activity by Epstein. So this isn't a claim that Gates saw crimes take place. It's a claim that Epstein allegedly tried to manipulate him using information about his personal life. For years, people have wondered how Epstein maintained relationships with politicians, billionaires, celebrities, and business leaders.
Do you think Bill Gates is a genius? I mean, haven't we heard the story a couple of times now where some dweeb goes to Harvard, drops out, and becomes wildly successful, dominates the global tech market for decades? Today, the Congress deposed Bill Gates over his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And of course, the narrative that Bill Gates wants you to believe that the media are spreading like wildfire is that he was simply compromised by Jeffrey Epstein over a couple of Russian prostitutes, and poor Bill Gates didn't want his wife to find out about the marital affair. So, wait, what? Wait, wait a second. So you're one of the wealthiest guys in the entire world. Panties are going to drop for you no matter where you go, whether you want it or not. And I'm not trying to be misogynist. I'm just talking about reality here. But we're supposed to believe you had to go to Jeffrey Epstein to get a couple of Russian prostitutes? I used to cosplay as Bobby Fischer at some Sofitel next to the Kremlin. We've got to do something to protect my reputation. I think Epstein has some photos where there might be some video on High 8. How fucking stupid do they think we are? Like, who is digesting this shit? Why aren't all the mainstream media sources talking about?
So Bill Gates testified today in front of Congress, and he said that he knew who Epstein was, but that he needed access to wealthy donors, so he ignored it. And that he was afraid that Epstein might tell his wife that he was having extramarital affairs. Who believes that bullshit? That somebody like Bill Gates gave a rat's ass if his wife knew he was cheating on him? And are we clear that these men with this amount of money, that they will overlook people who are violently abusing women and children to just get their hands on more money? I am tired of this narrative from the media saying that, well, just to be clear, President Trump and Bill Gates and all these other men, they actually haven't been accused of any crimes. Yes, they have. Women have accused these men of crimes. Men in power haven't held them accountable. That's the difference here. But all of these men have been accused of crimes, but no one has looked into it because no one gives a rat's ass what happens to women and children in this country. And as far as I can tell, they never will. So Bill Gates testified today in front of Congress, and he
Billionaire Bill Gates leaving Capitol Hill tonight after accusing Jeffrey Epstein of blackmailing him. The Microsoft co-founder grilled by lawmakers over his ties to the notorious sex offender.
On Wednesday, Bill Gates faced Congress over his relationship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in a closed-door transcribed testimony.
Glad to be here voluntarily to testify, to help with the committee's work.
Here's what we know about Epstein and Gates' relationship in 1 minute. Gates was a number of high-profile people named in the Justice Department's recently released Epstein files and subsequently interviewed by the House Oversight Committee. According to the New York Times, Gates first met Epstein in January 2011 at Epstein's home on the Upper East Side, 3 years after the disgraced financier pleaded guilty to soliciting prostitution from a minor. The two kept in contact for about 3 years. Gates has said the communication was about philanthropic matters that didn't end up panning out with his foundation. Yet, the files do include several allegations and messages that appear to be intended for Gates, but were never sent to him, he says. One such email alleges that Gates was attempting to cover up an extramarital affair and was trying to secure antibiotics to secretly give to his then wife. Gates has said the allegations are false, and Gates has denied any criminal wrongdoing and has apologized for associating with Epstein. A spokesperson for Gates has said that he welcomes the opportunity to speak to Congress, and the full transcript is anticipated to be published on the House Oversight Committee's website after the proceedings. On Wednesday, Bill Gates faced Congress over his...
I gotta get that. Let me tell y'all something.
We are outside the House Oversight Committee room where lawmakers just spent 5 hours grilling Bill Gates about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Gates did come here voluntarily today. He said that he hasn't done anything wrong, that he initially was connected with Epstein because he thought he could help him get money for the Gates Foundation. But we do know that lawmakers questioned Bill Gates about an unsent email that was found in Epstein's emails that said that he was trying to help Gates get connected with married women for affairs, and that Gates asked him for medication for an STI so he could hide it from his wife. And Gates said that those allegations are not true. He says that Epstein was trying to blackmail him to get back into his orbit after Gates tried to cut him off. Another thing that we know from lawmakers who left the room today is that Gates did give the names of other people in Epstein's inner circle, including some at the Gates Foundation. And Larry Summers was brought up again today. He hasn't been in front of the committee so far, but we did hear from the top Democrat on the committee, Congressman Garcia, who said that he would now like to see Larry Summers testify in front of the committee. We'll have to see if they've got time to make that happen before their investigation wraps at the end of the year. We are outside the House Oversight Committee room where lawmakers...
House Oversight Chair James Comer says former Jeffrey Epstein attorney Alan Dershowitz will be called to testify on the Epstein files.
Based on the testimony from Ms. Groff, as well as a meeting that I had afterwards with several of the Epstein survivors, I am going to ask Alan Dershowitz to come in. We will have questions for him.
Dershowitz was Epstein's former attorney and helped negotiate Epstein's 2007 controversial plea deal. I asked Dershowitz about Comer's request he testified. He told me this was the first he was hearing of it, but added he wants full transparency, including his testimony to be videotaped, under oath, and public. An alleged Epstein survivor says she gave Dershowitz a massage on Epstein's plane. Dershowitz says that never happened, and he can prove he was never on Epstein's plane, adding lying to the FBI is a felony. Right now, it's not clear how soon Dershowitz could testify before the committee. House Oversight Chair James Comer says former Jeffrey Epstein attorney Alan Dershowitz will be called to testify on the Epstein files.
Based on the testimony from Ms. Groff, as well as a meeting that I had afterwards with several of the Epstein survivors, I am going to ask Alan Dershowitz to come in. We will have questions for him.
Dershowitz was Epstein's former attorney and helped negotiate Epstein's 2007 contract.
Don't stop talking about the Epstein files, because I say so. This guy's been for nearly 6 years, and his estate is still paying the witnesses that are testifying. First, Leslie Groff, and I'm ashamed to have her name. I think she should be in prison and is complicit. She was his executive assistant, and she was deposed today. She gave a little information, also probably lied a lot. What we learned are that her legal fees are being covered by a fund. Epstein set it up through his estate before he was unalived or changed bodies and just moved to another country. So the man from the center of this case, who should be in the grave, is financing the defense of people who could implicate him in all of these other pervert monsters. That is not a coincidence. That is an infrastructure that he has set up with other leaders of other countries, including ours. She confirmed that she set up several phone calls between Epstein and Trump. She also confirmed that she scheduled the massages for other men, sometimes multiple times a day, and she would not name names. She said, "I never found any of this unusual." I would call that well-rehearsed minimization and just flat-out fucking lying, because she has been very careful about how she tells the story. Now, Bill Gates testified today as well. He said he knew Epstein had criminal convictions for sexual crimes. It didn't matter. Money mattered more. Gates had global health work, and Epstein had the donors to fund it. Isn't that fucking ironic? Gates, who cheated on his wife, gave her an STD, and then was trying to dose her antibiotics, and he was asking Epstein for help. That's in the emails. But yeah, he prioritizes health. So let me be direct, because knowingly cultivating a relationship with a sex offender because of his financial network while running one of the most powerful philanthropy networks in the world is not a narrow decision. That is a values decision, and he made it. Oh, and then there's the Todd Blanche piece. The Oversight Committee made clear today that they want Todd Blanche, and they are going to get him. You know, the one that coached and repeatedly lied when he was interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell, who even Pam Bondi said was a fucking monster and should be in prison the rest of her life? The New York Times reported that there were Situation Room meetings with Todd Blanche, where he and others in the administration were working to cover up this investigation. Will anyone disagree? Don't stop talking about the Epstein files, because
Bill Gates is currently testifying at the Epstein hearing up there on Congress, something I'm sure he thought his money would buy him out of, but lucky for us, did not, because Representative Garcia does not give a shit and is like, y'all go and testify. I don't care how much money or how many times you were on the island or not on the island. If you're in these files, we're going to hear from you. And I just think that's such a great thing. And I'm so, it's hard to say, like, I'm hopeful about what's going on with the Epstein stuff, but it is hopeful to see that there's no time limit on accountability, and that sometimes getting accountability takes a long time, and you might not get it from the people that you wish would have stood up for you at the time, but future generations don't forget and don't want this to repeat again. So
Bill Gates just testified behind closed doors to Congress about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. During his testimony, Gates admitted that meeting Epstein was a mistake and claimed that Epstein was once attempted to strong-arm him with personal information. Gates denied any wrongdoing. The problem is why are we still hearing about this behind closed doors? People are entitled to their opinions, but I don't think anyone can trust the elite anymore. They want us to hear their excuses, take a rain check, and stop asking questions from either side. Nope, the public needs to know what the hell is going on.
Glad to be here voluntarily to testify.
We are looking at some footage. Yes, that's Bill Gates. We are looking at some footage. Yes, that's Bill.
I'm glad to be here voluntarily to testify.
Here's your news brief for June 10th, 2026. Bill Gates testified in a closed-door transcribed interview to the House Oversight Committee about his past relationship with Jeffrey Epstein as part of the panel's broader investigation into how Epstein operated and how the government handled the case. Gates said he never saw or participated in any illegal activity, calling his meetings with Epstein a major mistake in judgment. There were more exchanges between the U.S. and Iran as the U.S. launched multiple waves of airstrikes on Iran, and a U.S. official said Iran fired at least 4 ballistic missiles and several drones at American bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan. President Trump said Iran has taken too long to negotiate a deal and will now have to pay the price, vowing the U.S. military will hit Iran hard today, even as U.S.-Iran talks continue. The Justice Department has issued several subpoenas to several major U.S. banks seeking information on whether they improperly debanked customers or closed accounts for political reasons. Senator Elizabeth Warren called on the SEC to delay SpaceX's IPO, citing governance risks, Elon Musk's outsized control, and potential dangers for retail investors if the stock is quickly added to major indexes. President Trump signed a nearly $70 billion immigration funding bill that finances ICE and Customs and Border Protection through the end of his term. Before I finish up, quick reminder to subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube and to give me a follow if you're watching this on Instagram or TikTok. I'd really appreciate it.
As you may or may not know, Bill Gates
just now leaving the Rayburn building where Bill Gates just testified in front of the House Oversight Committee about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. He started with some sort of opening statement saying he's never victimized anyone. And then he had Democrats and Republicans coming out to talk about what they heard inside. I'm still compiling that information, but one big thing to mention right off the bat is that they want Acting Attorney General AG Todd Blanche to testify maybe as soon as July. So that's one thing to watch out for. They're still questioning Bill Gates right now. I'm going to go back in, see what's going down. I'm just now leaving the Rayburn building where Bill Gates just testified in
literally thousands of girls, now middle-aged women, who have yet to receive a single measure of justice for the sexual abuse that they faced at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell upwards of 20 to 30 years ago, okay? And only now on a bipartisan basis, I think primarily because we met with the survivors of this abuse, did people feel the resolve to actually dig in and find out what the heck is going on and prevent this from happening again. So this investigation has been ongoing and bringing witnesses in depositions and transcribed interviews, including with Bill Gates this morning in the next hour, to basically find out, like, what did they know? Did he see any evidence of wrongdoing on the part of Jeffrey Epstein? Who else might have been involved? Did Jeffrey Epstein ever try to take advantage of his relationship with Gates to improperly kind of leverage that relationship against others? As you know, Gates is a very powerful man, a billionaire, and so he has a lot of resources as well that Jeffrey Epstein wanted to gain advantage of. And so I think he'll be an important witness to talk to. Literally thousands of girls, now middle-aged women, who have yet to receive a single...
This is Bill Gates on his way to the House Oversight Committee to talk about the file.
Glad to be here voluntarily.
Microsoft founder Bill Gates.
Bill Gates has admitted that Jeffrey Epstein knew painful details about his private life and tried to use them against him after the billionaire cut off contact with the sex offender.
Glad to be here voluntarily to...
While we were all distracted with Trump's deadline for the war, the House Oversight Committee set a date for Bill Gates to testify regarding his ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
What up, TT Streets? Did y'all know Bill Gates just testified? Or is anyone still paying attention to the Epstein files?
Stop being a baby, you flesh eater.
What Bill Gates today said behind closed doors in front of Congress is urgent. Gates, who was an associate of Epstein, said that Epstein had tried to leverage knowledge of his affairs in order to blackmail him. If Epstein did this to Gates, just imagine what he has on Donald Trump. We must see every file.
Stop being a baby, you flesh eater.
What Bill Gates today said behind closed doors in front of Congress is urgent.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. That's his mango. That's crazy. Jeffrey in 2011, so over a period of 3 years. I had a number of dinners with him. The focus was always the focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. suspect that was dead. That was a dead end. And I've said many times, but I'll say it again. I was foolish to spend time with him. Yeah. I was one of the many, he said. Hold up. I was one of the many people who regret ever knowing him. I don't think you're the only one. This is on February 4th. January, February.
I'm glad to be here voluntarily to testify to help with the committee's work. I'll start with an opening statement in the hearing room. I hope my testimony is helpful to the important work of the committee to find justice for the victims. Thank you.
Do you regret your friendship?
Glad to be here voluntarily. Glad to be here voluntarily.
My input is it's all catching up to him now. And obviously something is very urgent because he stated that he came voluntarily. This must have been like, you come or we coming to get you. Okay. Either you show up or we coming to get you. Okay. And it's given. They about to start paying for a lot of stuff they did. A lot. They all decrypted. He old. Every time he look in the mirror, I know he regrets wasting time. Okay. Doing what he did. Or maybe not. Maybe he don't regret it. Maybe he don't. But I know one thing. A lot of people are still suffering because of his choices that he made as a so-called tech. And he was literally him and Dr. Fauci. Okay? He look in the mirror. He know his day is nigh. He know his day is so nigh. It is not a game. All of them. All of them. Okay? And they will eventually have to leave the planet one way or another. All that land he bought, that shit need to be seized. Who is he? Pretending to be a doctor. Microsoft don't have nothing to do with a doctor. But he was able, him and Dr. Fauci. Okay?
Secretary of State is wrong.
Okay, well.
Put it like this, I was born in 1940, so you figure that out.
All right, Doris. You have a good evening.
So how old is this person who's eligible to vote here inside the United States, inside the state of California?
126 based on the Secretary of State.
And this is Doris.
Yeah.
And now we're going to see if Doris is home.
Are you Doris?
She's right here. Yes.
Hello, Doris.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
We're just going through the voting rolls here, and we're just confirming anybody who's above the age of 100 years old. And right here it says you're 126 years old.
No, you got the wrong house. That's a lie.
Are you Doris Wood?
Yeah, but you got the wrong house. I'm Doris Wood, but you got the wrong place. That's the wrong information, all that stuff. No, that's wrong.
Oh, here, I can show you if you like.
No, it's just that it's wrong.
How come you think here in California they're just messing up on all these voting rolls here?
I don't know, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it says you voted in 51 elections, Doris.
No, not me.
Really?
I'm not no 100-some years old.
I know.
I said I wasn't.
I just want to make sure you're not 126 years old.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, it really does say you're 126 years old here.
No.
Says,
Who did this be 126? That don't even make sense.
I know, that's what the Secretary of State says.
Well, the Secretary of State is wrong.
Okay, well.
Put it like this, I was born in 1940, so you figure that out.
All right, Doris. You have a good evening.
Okay. 1940.
Stop being a baby flesh eater.
So his ass. The hell is this? Zohran Mandami announces the Knicks watch party he's been touting outside Madison Square Garden is canceled. They be wildin' in New York. And you know what? He tried to cancel the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I forgot to do that video. That's crazy.
You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
Today, Elon, I think the British public are telling the world that they're ready to fight back.
Good. Yes. You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
Yeah. And that is the goddess honest truth. I'm surprised they ain't got him already.
Flying economy, give me a motherfucking seat. If I'm on a flying economy, I bet I know who I see.
You know how I fly cause I land at the beach when you land.
Mr. Modi, my dear friend Narendra, congratulations on becoming India's longest-serving elected Prime Minister. You've transformed India. You strengthened the bond between India and Israel, and you've earned the admiration of millions and millions around the world.
He is so psycho.
Your leadership is for.
It's like they're not even real. They are the most craziest psychopaths on the planet right now, bro. He is a psychopath. And he'd rather keep going with the war. Because he know when that shit end, he going to jail. He going to jail, but see, because they got money, and that's what's so messed up about America. You know what I'm saying? They use Jeffrey Epstein to blackmail all those motherfuckers. And if anybody got anything, it will be him. It will be him. Yep. It will definitely be him. Because Jeffrey Epstein, all that, the Mossad and all that shit they be talking about, they own that shit. That shit is a strategic organization for a very long time. Lobby hobbies. And that's the thing, lobbying. They made it illegal. I'm about to start saying everything is anti-Semitic. Okay? That's gonna be my new thing. Okay? Everything is anti-Semitic.
Axel Dorier, 22 ans.
This is a scene in France where white folks are paying peaceful tribute to White Lives Matter and all of the violence that have been perpetrated against white people, not only across the world, but also in Europe. Notice one thing, though.
What Florida is supposed to look like.
There is not supposed to be this much sargassum seaweed floating in our ocean. Do you know there's 1,200 plus golf courses in Florida? And the crazy thing is they are still building more. Do you know how much fertilizer flows through the canals and the causeways into the ocean every single year? Not to mention all the pesticides and herbicides and all the other toxic stuff that they dump into the ocean. When it rains hard, it pushes all of that stuff out into the ocean. Florida has more golf courses than any state by far, and they keep wanting to build more.
Are riots erupting across several areas in Northern Ireland right now. So this comes after video of a horrific stabbing that was allegedly committed by an asylum seeker from Sudan. That video went viral. Greg Palcott is in London with more. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Jenna. Yeah, there was mayhem on the streets of Belfast, Northern Ireland last night with a very anti-immigrant bent. Masked and hooded men burning families out of their homes, setting on fire stores and other businesses, torching numerous vehicles, including buses, and attacking police. All sparked by the brutal stabbing by a 30-year-old Sudanese man.
That's crazy.
Explain this to me. So you're telling me that he is incompetent to stand trial, but
do you and Maura, if you had to listen to one artist for the rest,
the same system said that he was plenty competent enough to be released dozens and dozens and dozens of times back into society to roam free amongst normal civilized people and come out here and continue to commit these crimes. So he's plenty competent enough to do that, but they're going to say he's not competent enough to stand trial. You know what? You can plead insanity if you want to. That's fine. You don't get any sympathy from me because you would absolutely have to be completely insane.
Rest of your life, Drake or Kendrick Lamar, who would you pick?
Drake.
Would you? Is there any consideration there, or you listen to Kendrick at all?
I listen to Kendrick here and there. That song was really popular. He was really like popping the last couple of years. Well, he's always amazing and all that.
So you went out of your way to listen to Not Like Us?
I mean, it was just all over the place.
Right. I mean, I understand like hearing it on the radio, but like
not out of my way. No.
You know what? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's kind of a deal breaker for me.
50 Cent?
Oh yeah. I mean, I like Drake because he speaks to the girlies and he knows all the little, sexy innuendos and things like that.
You don't think Kendrick speaks to the girls? That Luther song, that's a good song. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't dove in completely, so I will say I'm not sure. Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Yeah.
I'm open to it.
What if Drake gave you the call tomorrow? Hey, come to Turks.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think he would do that.
Really? Why not?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
you're probably his type.
No. I mean, no, I don't think so.
You're attracted to him?
I am. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
You like light-skinned black men?
I like energy. I like confidence. I don't know. Sometimes the looks kind of fade.
Me or Drake?
Initially, my mouth said you.
Fuck yeah. I'm just gonna stop you right there. I'll take it. Yeah, why not? All right. Probably not too many women that I could ask would say that. So
yeah.
And I say that with the knowledge that probably a lot of them would lie.
Yeah, no, my official initial was like you.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. So you like white men? Because he's not quite as white as me.
I mean, I've never met him, so your aura and like your masculinity, like how much you love your wife and you like want to devour her and you have all this honesty and openness and you're like so possessive over her. That's hot. Yeah. And you have beautiful blue eyes.
Some people would think.
And you work out.
Do I? Wow. Okay. I feel like he's probably got more muscle than me.
Let me see your hands. See what I mean?
They're wrinkly and old and white.
No, they're just like masculine.
I've been in the sun. We don't know what his hands look like. I mean,
yeah, it's just like one of my things.
Just hands? They just have to have hands?
Masculine hands.
Masculine hands. I feel like my hands could be like bigger and stronger. I have like a little bit of
just grip.
Like I've known.
She's just freak. She being passed around. She looking for a gig. All you got to do is 2,400.
Not at 10. It doesn't get its tens. it doesn't get its 10s. It's a filler. And, you know, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's as bad as being a filler. I would say it's not yet a 10. Good. I mean, it's definitely not an opening line, correct? Okay. But see how simple it was? Now, if you were to hand in this, sucks for you, without this, your hoe.
نعم محدش شافه في العالم كله.
All charges against 5 soldiers accused of sexually abusing a Palestinian detainee at the Sde Tayman military prison in July 2024 have been dropped.
Soldiers committing acts of sexual violence against Palestinians.
They were raped, often more than once.
Including minors.
طبعاً كانت الظروف سيئة لدرجة ما حدا بتوقعها.
Simply the lives of Palestinian children, it's worthless.
The use of animals, the use of dogs.
I never thought we will come to this. של בן אדם, זה לגיטימי? כן, אם הוא נוח'בה, הכל לגיטימי לעשות. אוקיי, הכל.
There is a policy.
It approves rape, it approves torture.
She was taken to Sde Tayman and she was nude searched over and over again and filmed, and then she was raped twice by Israeli male soldiers, 2 of them at a time.
אירוע בשדה תימן גרם לנזק תדמיתי עצום למדינת ישראל ולצבא ההגנה לישראל ולחיילים שלנו. זה אולי הפיגוע ההסברתי הקשה ביותר שמדינת ישראל חוותה.
They don't want to be controlled by a justice system.
في حزانة، هذا في السماء أول حاجة. No self-harm.
Every mechanism is failing.
It's so incredible what Israel has done in the dark.
Deliberately, intentionally, to be part of the genocide.
They gotta be stopped. They gotta be stopped. Man, I'm telling you, like, we as a one mind, we gotta control that element, man. Gotta gain that power, man. Money ain't everything. Energy is, man. But you know what? Everybody around the country is already not going to work, leaving their jobs, just saying fuck it. Italy is on lockdown. They made the government fold. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? If you never go to work, you don't give a fuck anymore, and we don't do war with each other, do you know how these motherfuckers have to fold? If we say fuck your money, fuck your jobs, fuck everything, fuck you, fuck this system. And we all just never go back to work, never even care about the system. You know what that could be? These motherfuckers got to be stopped. They really do. They really do.
How can people think that this song is a love song? Let's talk about reasons. There was a sister.
The reason.
This is only if you're a big Disney.
Short newscast about the governor doubling the money they had to fund lawyers for illegal aliens, and they get $30,000 a year for housing, and they get $4,000 a month, and then it said a whole bunch of other stuff. It's like, I mean, they're doing everything for these people, and the same thing here is the same thing in Europe. 4-star hotels, 3 meals a day, laundry service, turning down their beds. Boy, I mean, this is crazy.
The Massachusetts GOP is criticizing Governor Maura Healey over a new report that shows shifting shelter costs to the state's home-based program. The program provides rental assistance to migrant families. According to the report, Massachusetts is on pace to spend $97 million on the home-based program in the current fiscal year. The state spent approximately $9.5 million on housing at-risk families. Massachusetts Republican Party Chair Amy Carnevale released a statement following the release of the report, saying in part, quote, as much as Maura Healey would like the public to think that she's improving the system, the data tells a different story.
Professional signature collector who agreed to plead guilty to paying homeless people to register to vote in Los Angeles. Brenda Lee Brown Armstrong admitted she used to pay people on Skid Row $2 or $3 to sign ballot initiative petitions and gave homeless people her address to use so they could register to vote.
Yes, it does. Now, because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too. I'm paying you guys, I need to get paid. Come on.
Armstrong got paid for every signature she got, and the DOJ says this case is just the tip of the iceberg.
This case is important because it shows how easy it is under California law to corrupt the state's voter rolls and thereby corrupt the state and federal elections administered by the state.
So now the question is how widespread. Those in power would like to say, well, of course there's some fraud, but it's not widespread. The truth is, and I can tell you, having been up there, they have no idea. They have no idea how spread the fraud is because they do nothing to detect it, prevent it, or to prosecute it.
Oh my God.
Without further ado, please join me in welcoming to the stage John Clauser, 2022 Nobel Prize winner in physics. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
I assert that real truth can only be found by observing natural phenomena. The current world is saturated with pseudoscience, with bad science, with scientific misinformation and disinformation, and what I will call techno-cons. Perception of truth frequently differs significantly from real truth. Moreover, given sufficient promotion and advertising, perception of truth becomes truth. Its promotion by commercial enterprise is called marketing. You can change truth. You can claim false observations if necessary. My favorite in this act is ChatGPT. It's very good at doing exactly that. It has lots of man-made pseudoscience that copy and manipulate and emulate. It can lie and cheat even better than its human mentors. Recently, the Nobel Foundation has formed a new panel to address the issue called the International Panel on Information Environment. They plan to model it after the UN's International Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC. I think personally that they're making a big mistake in that effort because, in my opinion, the IPCC is one of the worst sources of dangerous misinformation. I believe that climate change is not a crisis. Real truth could be found if and only if you learn to recognize and use good science.
Hey everyone, I stopped at a gas station in Alabama to get some fuel, and y'all talk about minimum wage, how high it's getting and stuff. This gas station is what's going to happen. Everything here is automated. There's not a soul here working. And I'm going to show you around to show you what I've seen. I've never seen this before, but I'm here with my truck. Just got out. With just a regular gas pump, you pay at the pump. But let me take you inside. Like I say, there's no attendants. There's nobody here. As you go in, there's nothing. There's nobody. There's not a window. There's nothing. See, it says pay at the pump only, no cash accepted. There's your coffee, ice. I'm making a video of this. I ain't never seen nothing like this. You talk about minimum wage going up? This is what's going to happen. There's nobody here to pay.
That's right. This is going to be a card.
All of these machines are automated. And all you do is come over here and you touch the screen. You pick what you want. Like if I wanted a drink, drink. Let's take sodas. Soda. There's all the sodas. You put your money in the machine, and the sodas are down here. They drop down. Now let me show you the bathroom. There's the ladies. There's the men's. Restrooms, purchase required. Code on the bottom of receipt. You have to purchase gas outside to get a code. You punch it in right here. It's for the women's. That's for the men's. And there's not a soul here. So they don't have to pay minimum wage. And all they have over here is they have a microwave, stuff for your coffee, ice, everything. Gas pumps on this side. Gas pumps on the other side. No one to pay. So that's
They're working on it while everybody sleepwalking. They're doing their dirt.
Have y'all seen this video? Watch this one right here.
The angel told Daniel, he said, you'll know you're at the very end. He said, because there'll be a technology explosion called AI. That's what the Bible says. In the book of Revelation, preachers crack me up thinking I'm wrong until they go read and start crying. In the book of Revelation, it says it is a robot infused with AI that gives the command for everyone to receive the mark. Go read it. He said, I saw in a vision. Remember, the language is different. He said, I saw in a vision. He said, and they created a statue. The word back then, which is 4,000 years ago, the word robot didn't exist. Statue did. So he doesn't know what he's looking at. He just knows it was a statue. Second thing, he said, then they had the ability to give the statue life. That's called electricity. He said, when the thing came alive, it started speaking arrogantly. And then it says the robot, or he called it a statue, that had the ability to speak, it gave a command that every person that does not receive a mark must die. Robot. And now AI isn't creating AI. And angel said, we're not impressed. It's just, all that had come out at the end. So let's get back to the point. He said it'll be like it was in Noah's day. The Bible says in Noah's day, the whole world was wicked, number one. Number two, it says Noah was righteous. Number three, it says out of all of the sin in the planet, it said that all men only thought about evil continually. But it only brought out the sin of sexual perversion. That's the only sin it brought out back on Noah's day. It said the angels came and slept with the women, and it produced giants. In the future, you saw that some of these giants had 5 fingers and 6 toes. Okay, and then it was, y'all want to hear something scary? I don't know why I asked y'all these questions. The Bible says that when the angels slept with the daughters of men, they produced half-breeds called Nephilim. And then it says something very scary. It says they existed in those days and the days after. Apparently we have a sister in the house that reads her Bible and thought she was crazy because she shared it with her family members. Girl, sit down, let me finish my message. It's hilarious. The stuff in the Bible is insane. And there are things, and guess what the angel told? Guess what the angel told Daniel? He said at the end, not one sinner will understand anything.
A very, very, very nice man. He's very sweet. He's very kind. A lot of people, I know there are people out there that thinks he's prejudiced. Dono is not prejudiced whatsoever. Republican, that's different. But how?
This piece off here and put it over here. And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map. Right. Now, I did this with a major record company in New York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, now, Elliot, you've gone too far. I said, what's your problem? You can't do that with the map. I said, well, actually, you can. He said, no, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore. I said, the United States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize this depends on how you draw your map. And then I pointed this little background to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Even though it doesn't really look like it.
No, it is! South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate. Well, you've been in Minnesota in the wintertime.
I've been in Iowa too. It's definitely
You know that it doesn't have a tropical climate. So you have to then introduce a real version of the map of the world. That's what this is doing.
That's very good.
The Peters projection map. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted. Look at Greenland on this map. Right there. See it?
Yeah, it's really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look at it on the Mercator projection.
So why do they do that? I don't understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world, halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. Now, if you have children going to school and they're seeing this map,
Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to be here at U.S. Central Command. Admiral Cooper, the commander of CENTCOM, was going to be here with me. We just got done with detailed briefings, but of course he is busy because CENTCOM, Central Command, will be busy tonight because President Trump said we will be hitting Iran hard, and we will be, because Iran has a chance to make a good deal, a great deal, to codify what they said they've been willing to do, and they haven't been willing to do it. So, as President Trump said, they've been tapping. You can see when someone's trying to tap on a deal. Instead, they're going to have tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart. It's because the War Department is prepared to set the terms to ensure that we get the kind of deal President Trump expects. And Admiral Cooper and the team here at CENTCOM has done a phenomenal job from the beginning on Epic Fury and through this blockade, ensuring that we have a chance to reach that end state, which is Iran will never have a nuclear weapon, which they say they don't want. And so since we're so close to that negotiated deal, if that's the case, they should step up and do it. There's another thing.
I have a question. Why do Catholic priests wear black robes? Kids that graduate from high school wear black robes. Judges wear black robes. Rabbis wear black robes because black robes represent the planet Saturn. They are a symbol for the planet Saturn. Saturn was called by the ancient people Lord of the Rings, and Saturn is Lord of the Rings. This is why women were told in the ancient world to listen to their God, and the concept was they would wear an ear ring. Men were to get married before their gods. They wear a wedding ring because the old ancient god of the Middle East, one of the ancient gods of the Middle East, was the planet Saturn. Saturn was directly connected to Yahweh, the Hebrew God. And so this is why even today the Jews celebrate the worship of Saturn. Saturn in the old Phoenician language was called Shabbath. Look up in the Phoenician language, you will find that the planet Saturn was called Shabbath. And his worship to honor him once a week was called Sabbath. So when the Jews are having Sabbath, they're actually paying homage to their god Saturn, Lord of the Rings.
Your performance is whack, nigga. They bullshit, man. Slips and remember that joke.
Can we please stop normalizing copying Hollywood vlogs?
About alchemy, there is this image of the 7 planets. Now, they're not just physical rocks in space, it goes much, much deeper. The 7 planets shown in alchemy represent different psychic forces, different parts of consciousness you can use and transmute. The sun represents the conscious mind, and the moon represents the unconscious. Mars represents your actions, Jupiter represents your beliefs, Saturn represents natural law such as cause and effect, vibration. Mercury represents thinking and communication. Venus represents love and emotion, all governed by awareness. So you are the awareness governing these 7 planets, or the 7 forces of the mind. This is why Freemasonry uses 7 stars. They're just 7 parts of the mind that you use. So if you know anything
Child, I tell you, man, going through.
Well, oh, I see Ariel. I saw Ty Dolla $ign. Hi. Okay, Ariel, since you're watching, how do I find someone and request someone? I mean that, oh, Chloe's on. Okay, someone's texting me, scroll all the way to the top and to see her request. What do you mean? Scroll through the comments? Is it through the comments? Northie, your dog, for real. Okay, hold on, I'm scrolling through. I don't see it. Jessica, can you request it again? Sorry, guys. Oh my God, Emily, eyebrows look perf. Well, I haven't had a chance to do them, so they're very bushy and...
Message for you, the people of Lebanon. Israel is not at war with you. We're at war with Hezbollah, that has taken your country hostage, that does Iran's bidding, that uses your territory to launch terrorist attacks against Israel.
Nigga is
you
a
remember what Lebanon
psychopath.
was like before Iran and Hezbollah turned it into a nightmare?
Anti-Semitic.
Remember the cafes, remember the culture, remember the calm. All that's gone because Hezbollah and Iran want to drag us into war over and over and over again. You deserve better. Your children deserve better. You know by now that Israel will do whatever it takes to protect our families, our communities. Hezbollah is weaker than ever. Israel is stronger than ever. We've taken out nearly 10,000 Hezbollah terrorists so far. We're systematically clearing out South Lebanon of these fanatics. No matter where they are, we'll find them. You also know we yearn for peace with you, with Lebanon. A peace where our two peoples can invest together, build together.
This motherfucking anti-Semitic. Period. They all are. That's what we gonna start telling them. They anti-Semitic.
Niggas with bad skin like Uncle Murder and niggas who happy to be making niggas cheeseburgers on the road, and then you got another nigga going through trauma like 50. Niggas standing far back getting head from your hoe and shitting on her for 10 bands a month. Them niggas going through trauma. 50 Cent, what I'm doing for you, I don't know if you would do for mine, but send your son, Sire, send him to the car show. I'm gonna make sure he get to see all 100 plus of my cars. He ain't gotta pay, he ain't gotta spend. I invited Daphne, I'm letting you know, ain't nothing behind your back. I invited her. If she can't make it, still send Sire. You know what he going through, you know what I'm saying? I know what you going through, Curtis. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I saw you in that blue suit the other day too with them shoes on, boy. Stacey Adams turning over in they grave, nigga.
Winos, y'all remember selling
Sure. Yeah. Somebody told me you had parties that were off the hook. I remember reading that, like, I don't know if it was Usher or somebody said when he was young, he used to hang out with you. Yeah, yeah. And, and you had such sick parties, like, like people would be orgying all over the place. I mean, like, this is nothing to you, right? Here, quote from Usher on Diddy. Just listen to this. During Diddy's single days, of course. Anything goes in Sean Puffy Combs' world. Marijuana, women, clubs. There was a lot of sex there. I saw a lot, man. I'm talking orgies. Just imagine being a 16-year-old guy and getting into clubs and having that at your fingertips. I was a kid and I was running with the king of New York. What's the wildest scene you ever had going down?
I mean,
be honest with me, man. Take me back to the day.
Back to the day.
Yeah.
The pool filled up.
By your house?
Yeah, Scarsdale, right over there by the, by the golf course. No black people moved there yet. I was the first one.
You were the first black man.
Yeah, first black man in Scarsdale. And it got pretty wild.
Did the neighbors freak out?
Yeah, they freaked out, man.
I mean, your neighbors are still freaking out.
Yeah.
Who was it that was wanting to sue you? Rosie O'Donnell, right?
Yeah, she apologized though. She thought I had some fireworks in the backyard, but it wasn't me.
Yeah, because Scarsdale is all black now. Yeah, you can't walk down the street in Scarsdale anymore. Yeah. So you would fill up the pool.
I mean, the party's going
models.
on. No, not really models. It was nice young ladies.
Yeah. Would you have 2 or 3 at a time in your bedroom?
I mean, it was. I had a good time, Howard.
Right.
I had a good time.
Good for you, my man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I had a great time.
That's
Thanks.
beautiful.
God is the greatest.
Thank God for the girls.
You think that's for orgies?
Thank God for orgies. Did you just thank the Lord for the girls in your pool?
No.
God is great.
No, I'm just saying, I've had a good time in life. I've had some great experiences. Not for the orgies, for the good time.
The orgies were horrible.
I want to thank God for weed. They were the worst. I want to thank God for weed, and I want to thank God for booze. And for what?
Chad, when I was younger and I watched this, it didn't dawn on me, man. That shit did not dawn on me. But see, that's how Diddy committee is. All of them. Oh my God. Whew.
What Jenna just did on that Sibian. Who are your big shot friends these days? Who are you really hanging with that's famous?
I mean, I'm just...
Who? Al Pacino?
I don't have no friends. Like,
no, come on, man. Don't give me that bullshit. You know what you got going on. Come on, you got a whole scene going on.
For a while there, you and Ashton had gotten kind of close. I haven't seen you two hanging
No.
for a while.
We're still close. I think a lot of us are working, you know what I'm saying?
Anybody selling records these days, or is it impossible?
Yeah. No, selling records like crazy. Mary J. Blige, Jamie Foxx, Notorious B.I.G. But what do you... We have a Notorious B.I.G. album in stores right now.
Another one?
Yeah, I mean...
how the hell you got all this material?
Final Chapter, the duets album.
How the hell you got all this material?
This is the last part of the material.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, the guy's got out more... He's more prolific dead than he is alive. It's unbelievable.
Now, you know things you say on a record, they usually come true. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. How long's Notorious B.I.G. been dead?
We're talking about since '96.
March of '97. You know who killed him too, don't you?
Nah.
Come on.
When will that story ever be told?
If you knew who killed him, what would you have them hit?
Would I have them hit?
Yo, Howard Stern was gangster, yo. I don't know about y'all, but now I'm sitting here. I see P. Diddy going crazy in his mind right now. He a narcissist too, baby. He was like, ugh, child.
We'd address the situation.
You would go to the police. You would just handle it.
Well, how is it that nobody knows?
That's a job for the
Westies.
How is it that nobody knows?
We keep it very legal for everybody listening.
Right. But you're saying that man would not be walking the earth.
No, I'm not saying that.
Why doesn't
don't want to send me in and lock the
know?
doors. So.
Yeah. You have your theories, don't you?
No, to be honest, I don't really. It was so. It was something that was so. It was done so well. You know what I'm saying? It was done so professionally. You only hear about things like that in movies.
Child. That's Howard Stern telling him. He's so prolific. How he said that damn word? Prolific. Whatever. He's so much more worth dead than alive. Ain't that nothing, y'all?
In modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words. Dear Lord Rothschild.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Why was it that this letter was sent by the foreign...
These motherfuckers are delusional. I want to know what portal did they come from. That's the one they got, listen. Some got to give.
Strait of Hormuz down again. Iranian media also saying its Navy and the U.S. Navy are engaged in skirmishes at sea, but CENTCOM is quickly slapping that down. Fox News chief correspondent, foreign correspondent Trey Yingst is in Tel Aviv, just finished speaking with the president. Trey.
Yeah, Laura, good evening. I just spoke with President Trump, who is currently in the Situation Room with Vice President J.D. Vance, along with Special Envoys Kushner and Witkoff. The president giving new insight into what is taking place as we speak.
Child, y'all better buckle up. Buckle up and buy a lot of rice, a lot of charcoal, all that shit. You better rack up. Because this PDF file, every time they get close to the Epstein files and stuff like that, they do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the FDA, the PDF files, Epstein files, you know, they open up a library. I don't even know why, because that whole shit is redacted. Why would somebody waste their damn time to go read redacted books? Oh, just to see names. Oh my God, baby. Trump used a whole PDF file trying to strike Iran. Here go. Ooh.
Files is coming soon. We know our manual reviews of these files and the time it takes is time consuming. But in cases like this, it is our responsibility to treat the files with the respect that the victims and survivors deserve, and so we sacrifice rapid posting for integrity and human decency. With that said, allow us to show you some of what we are finding. Welcome to Little St. James, also known as Epstein Island. A place that should have been beautiful but was turned into an island of horrors for so many victims and survivors. But don't take our word for it. Enjoy a tour from Epstein himself.
The lily pond. I'm here on the beach by myself. This is my swimming pool. No one's allowed to dock here. My beach. The luncheon place. Nursery. The point there is the library.
It all seems like fun and games type of a vacation paradise, but we all know that was a cover for what was really happening. And it was events far more sinister than foot massages. It was more malicious and vile than simply having these young girls sweeping his Palm Beach pool. He would make them do it without any clothing. And don't even get us started on the volume of clips he recorded of the girls in his New York City mansion. The Red Room was where he would make them dance with each other. These could be your children. These files go across the world, and we are working to identify now not only locations, but next will be identities of the people pictured in the Epstein files.
Okay. Okay, put them shits on 42nd Street already, please. Okay, I don't know who the fuck this motherfucker is. He's anonymous. But listen, these motherfuckers ain't bigger than the program. Put them on 42nd Street. It is what it is. Damn it.
You all have waited long enough for the truth, and the DOJ held it from you as they still are. We are working tirelessly to piece together the disorganized mess they dropped. We do this for victims, survivors, transparency, and for Operation Child Safety.
These politicians, they so damn near psycho. God forbid.
You think that Anne Frank's story is...
Oh my God, Anne Frank, yo. If this story ain't real, I'm gonna be mad as shit. When I was locked up, I used to go to GD class just to get the hell out the cell. And I would go and they made me read this motherfucking book. Okay? We had to read that shit out loud.
The hoax. I mean, it's not like our history books were written by Jewish pedophiles. Oh, wait. Oh, Robert Maxwell actually bought out McGraw-Hill textbooks? And those are the books we learned from? I'm sure they're not lying to us, though. Check it out.
Original diary manuscript was forensically examined by the German State Forensic Bureau, the Bundeskriminalamt. Their analysis determined that significant portions of the work were written with a ballpoint pen. Since ballpoint pens were not available to everyone before 1951, portions of the work were added well after the war. Handwriting experts determined after closer examination of the originals that all of the writing in the diary was by the same hand, and the BKA determined that None of the diary handwriting matched known examples of Anne's real handwriting. The true author of the diary was Jewish novelist Meir Levine, who demanded and was awarded $50,000 in payments for his work in a court action against Anne's father, Otto Frank. The truth about the Anne Frank diary was first exposed in 1959 by the Swedish journal Fria Ord. It established that the Jewish novelist Meir Levine had written the dialogue of the diary and was demanding payment for his work in a court action against Otto Frank. An extract from the Swedish articles appeared in the American Economic Council letter, April 15, 1959, as follows. History has many examples of myths that live a longer and richer life than truth, and may become more effective than truth. The Western world has for some years been made aware of a Jewish girl through the medium of what purports to be her personally written story, Anne Frank's diary. Any informed literary inspection of this book would have shown it to have been impossible as the work of a teenager. A noteworthy decision of the New York State Supreme Court confirms this point of view, in that the well-known American Jewish writer, Meir Levine, has been awarded $50,000 to be paid him by the father of Anne Frank as an honorarium for Levine's work on the Anne Frank diary. Evidence compiled by Dr. Robert Farrison of France establishes that the famous diary is a literary hoax. After doing substantial research, Professor Farrison stated, "The truth obliged me to say that the diary of Anne Frank is only a simple literary fraud."
Come on, guys, you're...
Baby. Well, that's good. Because he was kind of suspect anyway. They lived in a hardware house in a damn near attic. They was just unaliving all the Jews and putting them in concentration camps. And then all of a sudden they got away for a very long time. And they had to live in the attic with a whole bunch of other people. And it was dark. They couldn't turn on the lights. Okay? Only in the daytime they could, do stuff. But at nighttime they had to be real quiet. That's some bullshit.
Disturbing aspects of the White House cover-up in the Epstein files. Trigger warning. The White House held an emergency meeting to try to protect Donald Trump concerning the Epstein files. According to the New York Times, White House staff was particularly concerned about the release of allegations that Donald Trump had a, quote, nipple predilection. It was an allegation made by Sarah Ransom. And the allegation was that a girl in the sex trafficking ring had sex with Donald Trump, and that she was told Trump had a, quote, predilection for nipples. A stunning part in this reporting from the New York Times is that Vice President J.D. Vance said that he thought Donald Trump would be okay with releasing the documents, arguing that Trump had been accused of worse. Quote, "I think we should put it out. It would cause people to say we're going further than we need to." Wiles, Susie Wiles, the chief of staff, quickly pointed out that the president would not, in fact, be okay with it. Officials described it as a surreal experience discussing nipples in the White House Situation Room. This part of the New York Times report highlights and...
Look at here, 50 Cent baby mama making her rounds, baby. Talk about some she $200K for one night. They get freaking what's his name? Rocky? No, not Rocky. The Rock.
Asian pears, dried no sugar cranberries, and then I just have some chopped walnuts. I also sometimes make candy my walnuts or candy pecans, but I feel like this salad doesn't really need that because Trader Joe's has this amazing goat cheese mix.
Child, $200K. You mad at her? She made her rounds in that damn near industry. Look how beautiful. She is beautiful, but they all on her jock. What the hell? Massive strikes on my ring. Oh my god. Damn, I'm so psycho. They're psychopaths. God, my God, help us. Have mercy on us. Have mercy on us.
To the people of Newry, Mourne and Down,
We, the New Republican movement, have watched their councillors and MLAs over the past 12 months. The level of disrespect shown to the people who put you into power, this cannot be ignored any longer. We are proud men of Ireland. We are patriots.
This is, listen. An armed group that declares itself as a New Republican movement. Child, Italy down. Irish, they wilding out. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, I'm about to stay the fuck home. We listen. I'm about to stop. I'm about to just stop. I'm about to just live like time. There's no more time.
Your policies and decision-making in regards to flooding our communities with undocumented military-aged men is not acceptable.
And announced just moments ago that the American and Israeli militaries are commencing with strikes on Iran. These strikes are reported to be planned to continue for the next several days. In fact, this may well develop into another phase of a full-scale war.
Oh, my God.
Like you, I was shocked and angered at the killing of George Floyd and the response of President Trump and the US authorities to the peaceful protests, to people rightly demanding justice, has been an affront to humanity. Like you, I was united in calling for calm and determined to restore order, support the police and all those on the front line, and ensure that justice is done.
That is crazy.
Some few of you may be living an existence of dissatisfaction, maybe even a sense of emptiness, a sense of longing, a yearning that doesn't seem to be filled. Even though you may try with entertainment, sex and drugs, though I have nothing against those, they don't fill that yearning. You may be waking up every day wanting more, but not knowing what it is that you want.
Child, I can't with these motherfuckers.
Thank you all. It's cool to be here. I'm going to give a shout out, of course, to the person I am replacing today, Carolyn Levitt, who hopefully is at home enjoying some time with her beautiful kids. I told Carolyn I would stand in for her today for the White House press briefing on the condition that when Usha has our baby in July, that she would be vice president for a couple weeks. So thank you guys. And I actually want to start today. Thank you all.
The world finds out that there's hundreds of trillions of barrels. The price of oil is going to go in the fucking toilet. Do you think alternative energy, the first car ever made was an 1846 electric car. Electric car. When Saudi Arabia runs out of fucking oil, we're going to have electric cars. And if you think any different, you're fucking retarded, like I said to begin with. Now, all the guys in the business like me know that for 50 fucking years. There's hundreds of trillions of barrels. Do you understand what that means? When the world finds out that there's hundreds of trillions of barrels, the price of oil is going to go in the fucking toilet. Do you think alternative energy, the first car ever made was an 1846 electric car. Electric car. When Saudi Arabia runs out of fucking oil, we're going to have electric cars. And if you think any different, you're fucking retarded, like I said to begin with. Now, all the guys in the business like me know that for 50 fucking years. There's hundreds of trillions of barrels. Do you understand what that means? When
Hey, look, hey, big.
Here go 400, my nigga.
Hey, big, look, I might give you some money for you.
All right, give me some, and I'm gonna take it too. Shit, I just try to give you 400.
Yo, I don't need your money, and I'm not giving you
Oh,
money.
you don't give me nothing.
But I can show you I got money. You want to see?
No, I don't need to see none of that shit. Nah, if I go on my stash,
I can go on my stash
I'll
too.
blow
In the
that
bank.
shit
I
up.
can go on my bank too.
And I'll go on my bank and I'll blow that shit up.
So I came here.
I ain't stunting on you or nothing.
Me either.
I
I'm
just
not
didn't want.
stunting on you.
I just
Cool.
didn't
I
want
just
you to
don't like the way
leave.
that you was
No,
being funny in there.
I wasn't being funny.
Hey, look, hey, big.
You mention the name Jesus Christ of Nazareth, all hell breaks loose. All hell breaks loose. Why? Because the one who rules the world is Satan. And Satan knows the only one that put him to shame is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He doesn't have any issue with Muhammad, with Buddha, with Krishna, with the whole lot. He has no issue. The moment you invoke the name Jesus, he'll come after you. Believe me, no hard feelings. I'm just being honest with absolute love and respect. The moment you mention
there is life off of this planet, that is the biggest headline of our lifetime. And that phrase that he just used, plasmoid, whatever, what is he talking about, Lou?
Yeah, he's referring to what some have speculated regarding orbs that have been viewed really since the 1940s during the Foo Fighter incidents, and then later over New Mexico skies, over controlled military airspace. And it seems that, at least in some cases, some of these orbs seem to have some sort of intelligence connected with them. And so rather than just being like, let's say, a probe or a drone, these things have been reported to almost behave and react in some cases as if there was ascribed to it some sort of I can say, but life form. I got you. I was a more nuts and bolts guy when I was in the program. My focus was more on
You're talking about how historic these tariffs have been, bringing in revenue, additional revenue for our country. You've also mentioned before they could possibly replace federal income tax.
Possible.
Do you think that's
someday it's possible? It used to be. So if you go back to 1913 is when they ended tariffs. We were the richest ever from 1850. It was all tariffs. We didn't have income taxes. From 1850 to 1913. In the 1887s, about 1887, they had the Great National Tariff Act. And it was a group of people that got together because our country was so rich, they didn't know what to do with the money. We had so much money, they didn't know what to do. It was a group of very prominent people.
Read that she's not schizophrenic. They're full of shit when they say that. Full of bullshit. There's no way she hid her schizophrenia in her 40s, okay? She would have had symptoms. We all know people who are schizophrenic with symptoms. She is not one of them. And I'll go to town. I'm not a doctor and no one cares what I think. So this is my opinion. This is my opinion. This is my opinion, okay? They keep saying this to celebrities when they try to take, she's 42. She's December 8th, 1982. There's no way she's schizophrenic. That's, Sages, they gotta think, they gotta speak. They're going after her for a specific reason, okay? So when you see things like Britney Spears, she's locked up, she's crazy, bullshit, okay? She's schizophrenic. I read that she's not schizophrenic. They're full of shit when they say that.
They exit. An argument requires two people who think the outcome is still undecided, but a man who knows his worth already decided. He's not trying to convince you. He's not raising his voice, hoping you finally hear him. He heard enough. People mistake that for coldness. What actually scares them is not the man who fights back. It's the man who walks away clean. No yelling, no drama, no long paragraph text, just gone. Because he realized something most men take years or sometimes decades to learn. You can't negotiate with someone who doesn't see your value. You'll exhaust yourself trying to prove your worth to someone who already decided you weren't. When you argue to prove your worth, you've already conceded that your worth is in question. You're standing in court defending a case that shouldn't even be on trial. The exit's not anger, it's clarity. It's a man who finally said, I'm done explaining myself to people who are committed.
The only proof we have of time travel, and it's absolutely terrifying. In 1923, archaeologists discovered a sealed tomb in Egypt. Inside, they found something that defied all logic, a photograph dated 1987. It showed a man in modern clothing standing before a crowd holding a camera. That man was identified as Elon Musk, a scientist who had disappeared in 1987 while working on a top-secret government project called Kronos, the goal of the project to unlock time travel. However, it was abruptly shut down after the so-called Hawk invasion, leaving no trace behind. But the most chilling part was the message scrawled on the back of the photo. I tried to stop it, but the loop is inevitable. Years later, in 1980, another photograph appeared. This time it again showed Elon Musk, now several decades older, standing before the same crowd. The date on the photo, 2025. Experts were stunned. How could a man exist in 3 different timelines? And what did he mean when he said the loop was inevitable? The final clue was found in the Hack Laboratory notes from 1987. They read, "Time is not linear. It's a loop, and I'm trapped in it." But here comes the final twist. In 2020, a team of researchers decided to reopen the gallery. Inside, they found a camera, the same one shown in the photographs. When they developed the film, they discovered an image of themselves inside the tomb, dated 2045.
I survived, beef is live, spoiler alert, this nigga dies.
Alright, so whoever he's talking about dies, right? Alright, so now we're gonna go and listen to the hook. Alright, I can't show you the full video or the full audio because it gets taken down by TikTok, but listen to the hook.
Till his brains hang, and his mama sang, and the pastor sang.
Alright, I guess they're talking about somebody getting shot or something. Now, let's listen to the next part of the verse.
I hit up tell him do the for sure. Voodoo curse, it got him while I flew the Turks. Know the dogs had to hit him where we knew it hurts.
It got him while I flew the Turks. Speaking of Turks, that's Turks and Caicos. And look at this. This is what I found on the internet. This is a picture of Drake in Turks and Caicos. This is actually one of the pictures from one of these girls' Instagram, because Drake did not post anything from this trip to Turks and Caicos. The interesting part is that this picture is from July 6, 2018, right? July 6, 2018. Drake doesn't have anything on his Instagram around this date. Alright? Now, here's where shit gets crazy. I'm not pointing fingers, this is just a coincidence, right? But let's look at this. Alright. If you look, when did XXXTentacion died? Look at the date. June 18, 2018. That is only 18 days apart from this date over here. I don't know. I don't know.
But that expropriation of the third world has been going on for 400 years, brings us to another revelation, namely that the third world is not poor. You don't go to poor countries to make money. There are very few poor countries in this world. Most countries are rich. The Philippines are rich. Brazil is rich. Mexico is rich. Chile is rich. Only the people are poor. But there's billions to be made there, to be carved out and to be taken. There's been billions for 400 years. The capitalist European and North American powers have carved out and taken the timber, the flax, the hemp, the cocoa, the rum, the tin, the copper, the iron, the rubber, the bauxite, the slaves, and the cheap labor. They have taken out of these countries. These countries are not underdeveloped, they're overexploited. But that
overexploit.
Old forever. Why is this science forbidden? There is a piece of copper wire sitting in any hardware store right now that costs less than $5. When placed near a surface exposed to moisture, it kills every mold species it contacts and stops regrowth permanently. Not for weeks, not for months, permanently. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, confirmed it. The EPA registered copper as the first and only solid surface material in history with certified antimicrobial public health claims. 275 different copper alloys passed their most rigorous testing protocols. Every single one killed 99.9% of dangerous organisms within 2 hours of contact. Stainless steel, the material used in almost every modern building, killed nothing. 0% after 28 straight days. And here is the part that should make you stop everything. This science is not new. It is not recent. It is over 4,000 years old, and it has been slowly and systematically replaced by an industry that needs you to keep buying bottles every single month forever. This is the story of the most powerful natural fungicide on Earth, and why a $2.2 billion industry needs you to never learn how it works. Right now, 45 million buildings in the United States have unhealthy levels of mold growing inside the walls. That number comes from peer-reviewed research published in the journal Indoor Air by...
Have positive thoughts all you want, but that won't work. Because I have positive thoughts, but I have a nervous system that subconsciously says negativity. You can have thoughts of, we'll use this, you can have thoughts of abundance, but you have a nervous system of scarcity. Which one do you think is going to actually create your reality? The scarcity will. Your nervous system is the physical manifestation of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is responsible for your beliefs, your programs, 95% of your behavior, what this universe corresponds to. So now here I am, trying to live a life of X, Y, and Z because up here I'm thinking this, but nervous system-wise, subconsciously, it's saying something completely different. And this is the most challenging part. How do I become aware of something that I cannot even see? That's why you get triggered. That's the whole reason why triggers come. So you can see what the nervous system program actually was.
Okay. Like the video, share that video.
Always wars. Overcoming the manipulation, divided and conquered, split into many nations. As we gather at the Stargate, patience